Gooner, Ronnie Piper, and tractor boy Luke Hume were on a search for a team with pride, passion, and glory. They went to the Big Apple and found the New York Red Bulls. From the Garden State to the Empire State, red runs deep.
Hello and welcome back to RBNY UK podcast. It's been a long time since I said that. It's not actually that long since I said it. It's a long time since you've heard it because we actually recorded a podcast maybe 2 weeks ago with Anthony and Ronnie and myself, and then basically they couldn't get it uploaded onto Spotify essentially. So it's never seen a light of day. Maybe one day we'll release it as like a bonus lots episode, maybe. Just like a random day, like here's the episode. But I think basically this is going to be a word for word recreation of all the scripted elements. When Anthony come back on later, we'll have a nice catch up at our time in LA, I'm sure. But before Anthony joins us after the break, I'm joined with this half of the podcast by my good friend. And my boss, kind of, Mr. Ronnie Piper. Good evening. It's actually good evening.
Good evening. Well, it's great to be back. I'm doing great. I was going to say something about football, but we'll get into that in a minute. But look, how are you doing, my friend?
I'm not too bad. I went to watch Ipswich at the weekend. Back in the Premier League. First Premier League win I've seen. Well, first Premier League I've seen in person, which is like quite cool.
Oh, incredible.
And I'm going to make a rogue prediction and say we'll stay up this season.
Big prediction.
Big prediction. I think we finished 17th. Sorry to any Sunderland fans over there. They looked very average on the day. Oops. It's out of the way now, but yeah. Arsenal got a good win as well.
Yeah. I was to say it's a great start to the season. Obviously now we've got the added pressure of what we done last year. So whereas last year could we do it? Now it's can we do it again? But it's football being back is just great for us. We get to go games every other day near enough. It's great fun. But enough of the Premier League. I think there's quite a bit to talk about when it comes down to the Red Bulls. So it's been an interesting season so far.
It's an interesting season.
And it's a tricky one because obviously still just above the line as it is. Obviously, it's their playing game. However, I would say there is quite a lot of positives to take from the season still. Yes, there is negatives, but there is a lot of positives. And obviously the obvious one of the Red Bulls is what everyone's going to say is the youth in the team. And I've got to say, Julian Hall, Mehmeti, Dos Santos, just to name a few of them, but I could go on and name half the squad. I have been so impressed. And we obviously, it's no word, but everyone knows about Julian Hall now. Obviously, he's been in the team for near enough 3 years already, which is crazy. But Mehmeti in midfield, obviously, we always say if they go to Europe, not for Mehmeti, it's when he goes to Europe, because that kid is very, very good. And arguably, I'd say I haven't seen a midfield talent since Tyler Adams in that position. And he looks right at home in the team from day one. Even though I thought, is it a bit throwing him in at the deep end? That kid has flourished.
Yeah, I mean, I think with Julian Hall is very heavily rumoured he's off to Leipzig in the winter, which I think is probably going to happen.
Yeah.
Possibly, also, it's also the last season officially. Whether we'll have a proper full year cycle.
Yeah.
So obviously next year is going to be the sprint season and then the 27-28 season.
Yeah.
So it's the last European. We'll not have a European calendar, which is going to be a big change for MLS. And I just love the fact. I'll put another crazy prediction out here, guys. New Red Bulls will probably win the Sprint MLS Cup.
It would be a very Red Bulls thing to do, wouldn't it?
Exactly. Is there a more Red Bull thing to do? I mean, I think actually 9 Red Bulls probably win the Supporters' Shield and then MLS Cup and do a double, and then forever be an asterisk next to it. Like that's a very Red Bull thing to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's 8th in the league at the moment, which is above the line.
Yep, just.
But Jets, they're 2 points clear of Toronto in 10th.
Yep.
Obviously, we're playing Philadelphia this weekend, which is a large league action for about a month because of the league caps, and we're not in the league cap this year.
Yeah, nice.
It's a weird competition that is now. I don't really see the league cap anymore. I'm not just saying because I'm a bitter fan of it. I didn't see the point of it because before the whole deal of it was all MLS teams played against Mexico teams.
Yeah.
Because let's be honest, it was a very financially viable thing. That's why we did it.
Yeah. Now
only certain teams will let's get in it. I don't really see the value of it. Like it's an odd one for me now.
Yeah, just piggybacking on that, I think especially in a season where obviously you had the massive break for the World Cup as well. Okay, a lot of the MLS players weren't featuring in the World Cup, but you don't need this start, and it's forcing a lot more midweek fixtures as well for the MLS calendar, which is just not needed because of the amount of travelling as it is. You're getting, I think, coming part of later season, obviously we've got a game away to LAFC, which for us would be 3:30 in the morning on a Thursday morning.
Yeah.
Obviously, West Coast game would be on a nice Wednesday night as well for in the East Coast. So it's now forcing that midweek schedule as well. But like you say, even if it was like one of them things that it's not a annual, obviously, I would presume it's going to change going into the new scheduling system. However, I think it would have been quite cool to keep it, but maybe on like every 2-year basis rather than every year. Because a lot of people are quite bored of it already. Obviously, there's good incentives to win it, but obviously we might be taking a different view on it if we was in it. But for me, it's one of them that the novelty's so much word of. You're going to play against Mexican players anyway when you do the All-Star game against Liga MX all the time.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Like, obviously, the first year is that we're playing against all these big teams, and you was real excitement for it. Now that feels like that's gone now.
Yeah.
I think also that's probably also just due to how obviously the big whole thing about US Cup and US Rugby Cup less honestly has been basically downgraded to like a 3rd tier competition now, which really I actually think quite sad personally. But I guess that comes from more of the English side of my knowledge of the game and the FA Cup, which is so even that's not as big as it was, but it's still a huge part of the iconic cup. And the US Cup is like the oldest football competition in the North America.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, MLS makes no money off it, so why are they going to care? I guess that's a bottom reality of that. But I just looking at our schedules, obviously we're playing for Philadelphia Union on it'll be Saturday, 7:30 p.m. kickoff in Harrison, and which is 12:30 at midnight for us in the UK on Sunday morning. I don't like playing in Union, never do, because we never seem to bloody beat them.
Yeah, never really perform in them games.
Always bloody lose.
Yeah, always normally get a silly few decisions during a game where we just do a stupid foul at the wrong time.
Yeah.
And it just upsets the momentum, or just don't take the chances when you actually have them. That's normally the big issue.
Yeah, so that's going to be it's a tough game. I mean, Philadelphia are below the line at the moment. This is a big MLS Cup playoff match. Like, and also, obviously, it doesn't guarantee Red Bulls a playoff, so obviously, still got a low game to go. But winning this game is a big step towards that.
Yeah.
Because you're beating our direct opponent around you.
Yeah.
Like, losing it, things change. I think Philadelphia on. My bloody mouths. I think Philadelphia are in. Where are they? My mates started to work. Philadelphia are currently in. They're in 13th place, but they're on 21 points.
Yeah.
Red Bulls are on 26. You win that game, everything could be different. So it's a big old game for no Red Bulls. Against the foe, let's be honest, we don't have a better luck with, which I said before. And haven't actually won a game. Maybe like, we won at the start of the month from the last one. Michigan's there's only been 2 games since then, but against the Orlando City. So it's a big game for the New York Red Bulls, and it's at home. It's at Red Bull Arena, or Sports Illustrated Stadium now. It's Anime Night, I believe, is the theme.
Interesting. We had fireworks last weekend.
I just say it's Anime Night. I'm going to say, as you know, when you know, it's this one I'm going to say, as you know, but I'm coming out for the St. Louis game in September. So it's actually about a month to tell you as of recording. That's esports night, which I couldn't care less about. But but yeah, it's a cool theme, I suppose. So, but yeah, they're not actually playing out to this match up against Philadelphia Union. Not actually playing the game until Sunday, or I guess it'll be Sunday the 5th of September. Saturday the 5th of September, away at Seattle.
Yeah,
that's over a month. Over a month of no play. That is a big gap. Big gap. It's distraction to your playing. You're not playing. I mean, you probably play some friendlies, imagine. I think into during the World Cup break. Like, you're not playing competitive football for a whole month.
Yeah,
you're not gonna be as sharp you were if you're playing every week.
Just piggybacking on that, you can never replicate a match experience. It's impossible because you never be at full pace during a behind closed door friendly or even an inter squad friendly, and it will have an impact. And people try and say, "Oh, but you're more rested," but most of the time, it actually is statistically proven that it's better to continue playing at a pace and then just continue on it in the rhythm because you're up to speed, you're up to scratch. Yes, you can get injuries and stuff like that, but going from not competing to competing, you've got an injury chance as well. So I normally find it's better just to keep playing. It's a shame that they can't somehow work in a few more games, but the schedule, obviously, the World Cup has not helped the schedule at all this year. And it obviously, going forward, obviously, from next year, well, after the sprint season, so the end of next year, it's going to be replicating that European system. So hopefully you won't see as many breaks, obviously international breaks and obviously through the winter, but it should be a lot better in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I still think it's going to be interesting how they actually do the European calendar.
Yeah.
Because I think some parts of America are going to struggle with it, to be perfectly honest, but I'm quite interested to see how that goes. I guess the main topic is: do we think we're already halfway through the season now? We played 21 games. We played 34. We're about halfway through now. But we're over halfway through. Are we still confident New York Red Bulls will make playoffs?
I think we'll be all right. I think we will make the playoffs. I'm not saying that we're going to go and clinch home advantage, but the squad has enough to get into the playoffs.
And also, it's basically impossible to not make the playoffs now, right? Because it's so expanded now. You have to be so shit to not make the playoffs. That's how bad they were last year. Like the 9 teams from each conference get through now. It's so hard to miss out. So I think it'll just be fun. When I met with Anthony in LA, and he was like, yeah, you're going to playoffs to get home seed, and like we were talking like, oh, it's a given because that was before the World Cup break.
Yeah,
and like they're not quite comfortable at that stage. To a fourth. Like it's safe to say I don't think the World Cup has been as good.
No.
With definitely depth issues, I think it's pretty safe to say. In this squad. But badly need more experienced definition players. Like that's pretty obvious, I think. We're meant to be signing this one player I've read somewhere. Can't remember his name. I've seen it online somewhere. He's going to be a DP. But like, why are we not using all 3 designated player slots? That's the big question for me. Like, other organisation really serious about backing its team to win an MLS Cup, or is it, as some fans would suggest, which I'm not, but is it just a feeder team to get players into Europe?
Yeah, I think it's a tricky one. Obviously, with the limitations of the MLS system, unless you're obviously a certain couple of teams who seem to get away with it, the Red Bull system is not. If it was no wage cap, there's no spending budgets, anything like that. Guarantee you right now, the team Red Bulls would have would be incredible because they would spend the money. With these limitations, people go, yeah, but they're a feeder club for Europe. But would you not rather have good young players who are helping the team and then move on and do something in their career rather than just get, not going to mention any championships here, but there's some teams in MLS just get the same players on rotation for 27 to 34-year-olds. And kind of, yes, they might make the playoffs, but they're never really progressing people's careers. And you look at the Red Bulls team, quite a few of these players will go on to have very good careers. And yes, naturally, it's going to be a fit. Like, I think no one is blind enough to see that you're never going to say the end of the road for someone's career is in the MLS. They're always going to want to play in the English league, the Spanish league, the French, the German, the Italian league. So going into these systems is what is part and parcel of the business. And Red Bulls is probably one of the network's best. You got the City Group; they don't really do it with the youngsters like Red Bulls. You got Salzburg, you got Leipzig, you've got New York. Obviously, you've got teams in Brazil and Africa and all these academy setups. That yes, it's going to be a part of a feeder system, but some of these players are so good that I don't think that quality would be in the team if they wasn't going to be moving on to Europe and down the line.
Yeah, but that is the other thing. I mean, I think there's a balance to it. Like, obviously, you want to see players go on good careers. We also want to try and win trophies, which is pretty. Like, it's hard to say if its team have really tried to get trophies in the last 5, 6, 7 years. I'm not okay. I know we got the round to MLS Cup final, but apart from that, how close have we been to actually winning silverware since 2018? Not close enough for a team like New York.
Yeah, I would say just a caveat as well is when people say, "Oh, like there's not the name." Obviously, the year of Henri, Bradley, Wright, Phillips, Dash, Clason, Dax, McCarthy. This can go on. They never got it over the line, so it's such a hard balance. It's such a hard balance to strike between how to win it all. Like, yes, the Supporters' Shield is great. That's winning the league. That's, in a way, I think it's a harder achievement than winning the MLS Cup in a way over a whole season. Whereas anything can happen in a 90-minute game. And I think that was testament of our run to the final. A lot of them games, we wasn't necessarily fantastic. We got the job done. And I think that's the one thing is learning how to get it over the line and trying to get a few players in the team who have won it would be obviously, I think like you go back there with more experience. You want a couple of players who know how to win it. And then it just breeds a better winning mentality. And I think we've seen that in football all across the world. Very rarely you're going to win something without anyone in the team who knows how to win something.
No, it's a very complicated issue, and like, I don't think you can. I don't think that's a. It's not a quick fix, and that I was having a thought the other day. I mean, obviously it's now 2026. The last Supporters' Shield was 2018. So that's next year. Well, next year that'll be 9 years ago. Which A does not seem possible. That's quite scary. that was 9 years ago. But also B, that's a long time ago now. Like, I know you can go, okay, we won the Eastern Conference. Most people don't care about Eastern Conference titles. Let's be quite frank. I did because I've never seen it happen before. But yeah, it would be nice to win some silverware soon.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But yeah, we'll come back to that another day. It is Anime Night. It's. I've got no idea. It's a trading card, so you might know more about Rich Ronnie.
Oh, well, that sounds right up my street. I might have to start researching that.
It's I want to say Yu-Gi-Oh.
Oh, Yu-Gi-Oh. Very cool, actually. Yeah, very cool.
First 10,000 fans in the stadium get a card giveaway.
Well, I'm going to be buying one of them on the resale market.
So,
like I have done in the past, and I definitely have not potentially placed an order for a red bobblehead that I've just seen on eBay as well.
I'm trying to find something. I don't know where I put it. So obviously, where did I put them? I have no idea. Obviously, I went to obviously, as some of you might have guessed, I've become an Angel City fan over the summer. Sorry to any Gotham fans who are watching. But the people at Angel City were kind enough to send me. I think you can actually see this. You see that?
Just about. It keeps cutting it. Oh, it's a green screen. I think. Oh, that's quite nice, actually. That.
Yeah, it's a bandana.
Very nice.
It's played. So, yeah, it's a green screen, I think. But yeah. So, yeah, maybe I'll make Angel City UK next. Maybe.
Sure. Have fun with that Western time zone, mate.
Yeah, it's not fun. It's not fun.
But no, yeah, just going back on that, like I obviously it's very different to us in the UK. We barely get anything from the clubs, barely even get a thank you for going to our teams. But it's quite nice when you had these incentives to get to the ground. When I went out to Red Bull Arena, I got a free T-shirt. I know you've had a free T-shirt.
Did I come on to you? Yeah,
I've got one. I've got it hanging up on my thing there.
Yeah.
But it's not. I'm a massive trading cards fan. I've got quite a big collection, Red Bulls collection as well. So it's quite nice a couple of times that they've done trading card nights. I've got a few of them cards. Also, comic book night is a really cool one. I've got both. I've got two of the comics from that as well.
That's cool.
It's quite nice, obviously, for us, obviously, because we can't attend the fixture. Obviously, so we can't get it in person. But because obviously some people resell it on the secondary market. But for example, the Yu-Gi-Oh one will definitely be one that I'll be looking to purchase and to put in my New York Red Bulls collection, which features quite a lot of Forsberg, because I am quite a big fan of Forsberg. Lucky enough for me, a couple of nice Julian Halls, which have gone up in value.
There's loads and loads of New York Red Bull stuff on Vinted.
Oh, yeah.
It's tons.
Great. Yeah, it's great for us over here. But I've got to say to you, so obviously we know your favourite player of all time, Mr. Dax McCarty.
Yeah.
In the current setup at the moment, who is your favourite player?
Good question. I mean, it's hard not to go with Julian Hall, right?
Mm.
But my you're going to go with Julian Hall. So I do like Tim. I'll probably go Tim Parker. Obviously, legend for us. Well, not legend, but like did so well for us back in the day when he was here before, came back. We should actually get. You don't get that often in MLS now. We should. I don't think about that just now. Like obviously back in the early 2000s. If you ever bored one day when you go on Wikipedia, look at 2000 players, MLS players, and see how often they moved clubs.
Oh,
like Metro Stars, DC, Metro Stars, New England, Metro Stars. It's crazy. You don't really get that in MLS now. You normally you play for 1 or 2. We don't go back to the same club.
Yeah.
I'd probably say Tim Parker. Johnny Hall is a beast. And we are very lucky to have him. But knowing you're going to go Junior Hall, I'll go Tim Parker for you.
Yeah, mine is a close between two. It's just Julian Hall, but obviously I do love the skipper as well, Emil Forsberg. I know he's not having his greatest season this year, but I think obviously being fans of the European game, I've watched him for near on probably 10 or so years. So to see him obviously end up at Red Bulls was a massive big thing. Yeah, but obviously,
I think is this his last season contracted at Red Bulls?
He's got 1 or 2. Can't remember the.
He's on a contract to 20. I just googled it. He had a contract to 2026 with an option for a further year. I would be surprised with that. I think I take that option.
Yeah, I would definitely.
I can't. I mean, I'm not sure whether he'll be here. Actually, I wonder how it works in contracts. Obviously, with the print season,
It must be. I wonder if all contracts kind of run up to. I don't know, it's
yeah,
quite intriguing because most
that's a
contracts
question.
will be up.
No, it's that 4, don't you? No, it's that question 4, don't you?
Yeah.
That's Anthony question, like John.
Yeah, I'll be tuning in to hear the answer to
So
that one.
I would bet money that he would know the answer to that.
Mm.
That's
It's
interesting,
quite
but
intriguing. Yeah, it's quite intriguing.
yeah, he's 35 this October, Forsberg.
Yeah.
So I think you get one more season out of Forsberg.
Yeah, definitely.
I'm
If you
not
build the
convinced.
right team around
Yeah.
him, then you can do.
I'm not sure he'll be here after that season. I think it's, but we'll see. I guess we'll see. It's also like who else do you bring into that role of your experienced pro?
Yeah.
Like obviously the big rumours were Timo Werner. That was a big question about rumour about it didn't happen, which and I think that's quite shocking people, right? Because everyone's expected it would kind of happen because of Red Bulling and let's be honest, the Forsberg deal was basically a mate's deal. Let's be honest, like you need a player. Like it was very much like a mutual decision that works for both of us.
Yeah.
We didn't announce by the Leipzig before Red Bull announced it.
Yeah, because he was leaving, they had to do like the send off, weren't it? So
he announced he was going to New Red Bull before the club himself announced it.
Yeah.
It was very bizarre, but
let's just talk about like on the line of DPs quickly. Obviously, I don't want to talk about the league too much, but obviously we are seeing quite an influx of big name players to the league. Obviously, Chicago have now got Robert Lewandowski. Orlando have got Antoine Griezmann. Atlanta have just signed it, Brill and Bolo, which I think is a great signing for them.
It's also interesting about which one it is. As obviously, I think really funny. If you go back to one of our early podcasts, I'm not sure you were on that. It might be when me and Scott were on it. We had Chris Egan, who's a Galaxy fan in the UK. And we were talking about how this is. Well, when did we start? When did we start? Was 21?
About then, yeah.
21, something like that. And we were talking 21. It was just after COVID. We were talking about how the league sort of moved away from. The league basically moved away from its former European superstar, didn't they? Like, moved away more to like your Onwens, Miguel Onwan from Atlanta. They moved more to the South American route. We had Kaku. They moved to more of that route, and LA Galaxy still didn't move. LA Galaxy like no, we still want to do it. We like had all the big name players for like had Jishrat. Who do they have? Who did LA Galaxy have for like a couple of years after when they were really bad?
So they had what recent cop they've had? So recent is Royce. Then they had before that Zlatan. They've had so many that. Obviously, going back further, they had Robbie Keane, Steven Gerrard, David Beckham.
But sort of, when the league sort of moved away from the big name players, and like the league did basically like think like before Messi came back to the league, how many came back before Messi came to the league? I could not name a DP from the big European league for most of the 2015, 2020 seasons. Like I can't. Obviously, you've got a couple, but they're not what I would call. Not your Henrys, not your Gerrards, not your Lampards, not your Villas, Perlos. That sort of the ilk of players. They sort of stopped going to it. And we spoke about how that really sort of Galaxy were terrible for like 4 years. Like Galaxy were at the bottom of the league for like 4 years straight.
Yeah.
But now the league going back. The league seems to have gone back to that position now of these superstars coming in for the last few years, like Lewandowski or Thomas Müller, like all these big players.
Yeah, and these are players who last year were doing it at the level in the Champions League. It's not like these were a couple of years they've been a bit here and there. Antoine Griezmann, let's not forget, played in a semi-final of the Champions League last year. Yeah. Lewandowski played in the quarter-final of the Champions League last year, and both scored very good amount of goals. So, no doubt, this is what we've got to look at as well. Now, even down to, I think Montreal signed Alexis Sanchez. these type of players who will make an impact in the MLS, and we're now looking at our ones. Yes, Forsberg's done really well. Choupo-Moting's been in and out of the team for the last 5 months.
I don't think he's even DP anymore.
Yeah, apparently he's injured. He's not injured, but then he is injured, but then he's not injured, but he's not on the injury report and he's injured. I'm like,
and Cameron Harper, who's part of, I think he's our under 22 initiative player. I want to say, I might be wrong, I might be completely wrong, but I think he is. He's bloody kicked the ball this season.
Yeah, like obviously he's only just started coming back, and obviously done well the weekend. But we have missed him a lot. We have missed him a considerable amount.
Right.
But
there obviously are rumours about coming up why he's not been playing. We're not going to put that here because we don't know if that's true or not. But there are rumours. But he's barely kicked the ball. Like, yeah, I think that's a good point as well. When you like, well, it doesn't seem like it's before it was Miami. Miami had all the superstar DPs, right? Now it's Chicago doing it. Montreal, Orlando, all the teams. How long can the Red Bulls keep doing this?
Yeah,
we're not going to do this. It's like, how long can you keep doing it before you get left behind? That's the big question. Like, and Audrey's like, Forsberg's been great for the new Red Bulls. I genuinely think he has been.
Yeah,
he's been a great role model for younger players, and he's been really good for us. But he was never that level of footballer in Europe, right?
He was never going to be your Griezmann or Lewandowski that will score you 20, 30 goals.
But he was still good. He was good. Yeah,
he should have been paired with someone else.
Yeah,
and obviously the idea was to pair him with Choupo-Moting. It's not worked as well as it, even though Choupo-Moting did have a very good season last season. So it's obviously one of them to. It's definitely something that's got to be looked at ahead. I would not even say ahead of the sprint season, but ahead of the season afterwards. And I do think going to the European system will make it easier to recruit certain players as well, because now people don't really want to leave like Europe and then go and join the MLS in the summer, where it's halfway through the season. Whereas now you'll be joining at the beginning of the season, pre-season with your team. I reckon you'll see some better transfers coming in for the MLS. But look at Chicago. I think that's the perfect side. They had Hugo Kuipers, who was fantastic up front for them. Obviously lost him and then went and got Lewandowski. Well, that's how you've got to do it. And Orlando, for example, going to get Griezmann. We do need that kind of person who's going to guarantee 15, 20 goals a season. Yes, it's not easy. I'm saying that sometimes it's not the big names. Sam Surridge's done absolutely fantastic things at Nashville. So it's just working at that focal point. Obviously, we know Julian Hall's going. So who's that one going to step up in that number 9 role? And for me, I think we have to go to Europe and get a number 9 to fill that gap.
Yeah. It's hard to disagree really at the moment. Like, I think the sprint season is going to be an interesting season because it's not going to be a proper MLS season because you're playing. Is it 15 games you're playing? I think it's 15. And you're only playing against your inter-conference rivals. You're not going to play any Western team. And then obviously 27-28 MLS season can be completely different. I think again divisions. Am I right in thinking that?
Yeah,
divisions. So that can completely change how we do that. It's a tricky one because I don't know. I think personally MLS has gone beyond the traditional American sports route. I
think going to the European system is the first stage in slowly changing everything. Let's not throw it all in at the deep end straight away. Let's slowly roll it out. So, say 2027 we'll go to the schedule. 2028 we'll change the wage structure. 2029 we will change the transfer budget. And then slowly, I could see by 2030, it just mimicking the European leagues of supposed fair play.
That is what NWSL has done now. I think MLS has no wage cap. It has no drafts. It has no. It's had trades, but the trades have to be approved by the player and the club now.
Yeah.
So so that's obviously we don't have conference anymore. We have one league table. Admittedly, they have far less teams than I think they have 16 teams in NWSL now. So obviously it's a lot less.
Yeah.
MLS has what, 29 teams? Is it 30 now?
Oh, I lose track every year.
It's a lot of teams now.
Yeah.
But just one more point on the league is how likely do you think Messi Vegas is?
Well, I think LeBron's going to get his team in Vegas at some point. I think he's going to be to do with that Vegas setup after he's done in Philly. So
Messi
it's
team
going to
just
be.
feels.
It's,
Messi team
they
feels
want to make the goats,
inevitable.
don't they? Goats in Vegas. They're going to have the LA Kings for the hockey. Obviously, the Athletics are going there very soon for the MLB. You're going to get an MLS team out there. You're going to get an NBA team out there. They're going to make it possible. I can see it still fits the bill of. But obviously, I know Miami has the massive Argentinian like population there anyway.
Yeah.
But the Vegas team's got to be something special. It can't just be a nothing team.
No.
So it'd be
I mean,
intriguing.
Messi team is, I think, I think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Like, I can't see why Messi doesn't get a team.
Yeah, I would
well,
have
if he wants one,
or they just give him a percentage stake in whatever it is, just so he can have a load of money that's not being declared in his contracts that is over the wage cap. But that's obviously
allegedly.
a question. Yeah, allegedly with the alleged Argentina bonus paid into an account in Miami. Allegedly. Yeah. We know what goes on, but obviously it's just proving it is the main thing.
Yeah, it's a tough one. But I think big game against Philly on
massive
Saturday. I don't know. I hope we win. I would like to think. I think on paper we're a better team in Philadelphia.
Yeah. Yeah, the win percentage will be in our favour.
But we've had years ago we had much teams we do now, and we still couldn't beat them.
Yeah, it's even the Chicago Fire team the weekend. They rested a lot of players for their midweek game this week, and we still didn't beat them. But
no.
On a positive note, I do think we will. Obviously, we can't keep a clean sheet to save our life, so I'll probably say I'm going to go for like a 2-1. I think it'd be a close game. I think knowing Red Bulls, we'll go 2-0 up and then concede and then be holding on for about half hour.
Yeah.
But I think we'll just scrape it. And if we do, it'd be a massive win in the way of getting confidence to push on and go for them higher up playoff places, hopefully not having to play in the playoff game for it.
Yeah, I agree. I'll go with a 2-1 win as well. I think we'll just get across the line. It would be nice to be a bit... Basically, it would be nice by the time I go out to LA, by the time I go out to New York, it'd be nice to be a bit comfortable in that playoff place.
Yeah.
We've got a full game to go before I go out to New York. That would be nice.
Very nice.
Very nice. Right. After the break, Ronnie will be leaving out. It's the same for Will. Till next time. I'll see him in a couple of weeks when we go for the pint. Until then, see you later, Ronnie.
See you later.
After this short break, the main man himself, Anthony Mercer, will be joining us. Hello, and welcome back to part 2 of the RBNY UK podcast. I hope you've enjoyed the short break, if you had a short break. If you haven't, not much you can do about that. Joining me for the second half of the podcast is my good friend Anthony Mercer. Since we last spoke on the podcast, a lot has happened. We had 2 full MLS seasons. Yeah. We made MLS Cup final somehow. We lost MLS Cup final, and then last season our playoff streak ended after 15 years. I want to say 15 years.
2020. 16. It was 16 years.
16 years ended. So there's a lot to talk about. It's been a while since we've done a podcast together, like I just said, but it's not actually been that long since we've seen each other because we actually met up in LA. Last month, just about last month. It's getting close to 2 months, but last month We met up, had pizza at a very loud bar in Long Beach, and we went to see some football as well, which was good. And then fireworks happened, and we'll say no more.
No one else did either.
It did turn me into a massive Angel City fan. So there's that, I suppose. So
yeah, and you were wowed by the amenities of
I was
BMO Stadium, which is also the home of LAFC. Yeah,
I went to watch Ipswich in the Premier League Saturday with the first win of the season against Sunderland, and I was thinking, do you know what? Portman Road would be a lot good with a arcade.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm pretty sure most of the other people would disagree with me, but I was like, that's really cool.
I mean, if you win a game and you have an option of hanging out at an arcade for another 3 hours after the game, come on, why not?
To be fair though, I think it took me an hour to get an Uber home. So I could have just gone to the arcade and would have
just waited.
Time. I would have had the back of time and just waiting out in the cold. And it got to like, I think it was like 10 o'clock the game finished. I got to like 11 o'clock, and I was like 4 that left. And I was like, I'm from a foreign country. I got no idea how to get back to Long Beach from here. It
is far. For those that don't know, Long Beach, California, where you stood, where I was also staying, if you were driving from, which is essentially downtown Los Angeles area where BMO Stadium is, the LA Galaxy Stadium is way closer to Long Beach. It's like one town over. It's about a 30-minute drive. So so it's definitely not like, LA is very large.
It's large. And what didn't help, I did finally get an Uber. I think I switched from Lyft to Ubers. And I got one straight away basically. But I was using Lyft. So Lyft was much cheaper. So, and I got a lovely guy. He was a lovely guy, but he was the biggest conspiracy theory ever. I had a 30-minute journey talking to me about the mud flood theory, which
I didn't even know what that. I had to look that up. I didn't even know what that was.
I didn't even. I wish I did, because then I would gone. Yeah, I know what that is, and I've gone. I agree with you. Jets to shut him up for the drive. But by the by, it was a good time. I enjoyed it. I'm probably going back to LA next year, I think. I might stay in Santa Monica this time, though.
Oh, beautiful Santa Monica. Really great food there too as well.
That's what I'm thinking. Originally I was thinking downtown LA, but I was like, no, that's going to be quite manic. So like, I'll go sit in Monica, by the beach.
You've stood in Times Square before when you were.
It's true. I stay in Times Square. I stay in Times Square.
It's kind of similar, except flatter. The buildings aren't as high.
Yeah.
But it's a very similar vibe.
Just feel like looking at prices, hotels. Santa Monica is a lot more expensive, which is what I expected because it's Santa Monica.
Yeah, there's also not as many hotels, but they're all very, very nice. Actually, I believe my wife and I stood there for our first anniversary. So yeah, we love Santa Monica.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking next year. I'm probably going back over next year, and I'm trying to convince. It is a certain head of RBNY UK's big birthday next year.
Oh boy!
And he has been talking about possibly doing a West Coast trip next year. So I've been trying to convince him to maybe go and see Angel City game. We'll be there.
Yeah, and it's a long flight for you. What is it? Is it 12 hours?
It's 11 hours on the way there. It's 10 hours on the way back.
Oof.
So I think you hit the jet stream on the way back. I don't really know.
Now I know because there's been a lot of talk lately about UEFA and CONCACAF having like a combined Nations League. So imagine if your team is flying from Los Angeles to London.
Yeah. Yeah. But you say that, though, but your flight to New York is 5 hours.
Yeah. Well, we're
same country.
Yeah. It's pretty long flight. Yeah.
But yeah, I'm probably going back next year. I'm actually in New York it's a month today, I think I'm in New York.
Yeah.
Well, to date. Not today. I think it's actually Friday a month to go. But yeah, not a long time in New York again. But really, not annoyingly, but I fly into Newark, as everyone should fly into Newark. If you're ever going to New York, don't fly to JFK, fly to Newark. It is
No. Newark is great. You fly into
by
Jersey,
far
you're
better
right there.
airport. It's by far a better airport, and from my experience, the security is far better. It's so much quicker.
And you'll be here for the St. Louis game.
I'm gonna be here for the St. Louis game, but
Yeah.
we land in Jersey Saturday afternoon, and obviously we're going to New York City on the train to check in. Then we're going back to Jersey for the game, which is a bit annoying, but it's fine. But yeah, I'm gonna be here for the St. Louis game, so I'm looking forward to that. And yeah, so yeah, but enough about our catch up in LA. we done 7 minutes of that, so that's quite impressive. It's a big game this weekend, isn't it, against Philadelphia? It says max.
Yes.
I would say it's a 6 point. I would say it's a playoff 6-pointer. I'll go far and say that.
Yeah, I agree. For those that say that the regular season doesn't matter, I disagree. That this is probably as big of a game as you can get. Because I believe, if I'm looking at the standings now, Red Bull sit at 8th, only between them and 15th place, which is the bottom of the Eastern Conference, is only separated by 6 points.
Yeah, it's a big game. Me and Ronnie were talking about this earlier in the previous part of the podcast. It's a big game because we never seem to fucking beat them. I can't remember the last time we beat the Union. Even when we had good teams, not good teams, better teams, we say, we won Shields. I still remember bloody losing to them.
I feel like it's been the past 10 years. I remember the early years, they could never win against us, right? The Sebastian Le 2 years, things like that. And it seemed to flip maybe around 2018 or so, and all of a sudden it seemed like Philly we couldn't beat Philly. Yeah. So it's always been it's been that new turn. I remember they wanted this to be a rivalry so bad, and now I feel like it is because they're finally actually winning games.
Yeah.
And they beat NYCFC a week ago.
Yeah. Again, it's a big we look at the Suns, like you said. I think me and Ronnie said there's 2 points separating the Union. No, sorry. It's
5 points right now.
5 points. But if Philadelphia win that game, we're within 2 points. That completely changes the complexity of a playoff run. And I remember we were sitting at a bar in LA. I said to you, "Do you think we'll make the playoffs?" And you confidently said,
"I still do."
No, but you said we'll make the playoffs and we'll get home advantage.
Now I'm not so confident about that.
That's talking less likely. But
correct.
That's less likely. But at the time, we were thinking, home advantage easily.
Yeah, I mean they came out of the World Cup break and it's been slow going. I think they only have one win. That's the Orlando win. Which is funny because that's the one that was the game with the superstars, right? Antoine Griezmann played that game. Although Robert Lewandowski did play 20 minutes this past week, which was really cool to be there for. I was there in the building for the Polish Appreciation Night. Let's just say that majority of the fans were there for Lewandowski. But it was they got a point here. To be really fair to them, they played great against Nashville. They just couldn't score. And then they, Nashville managed to take one in the I think it was the 92nd minute or something. So, they've had some games where it's, you got to finish games, so there's no excuse for it, but you can't say that they were bulldozed the entire way.
What gets a big point for us is, me and Ronnie touched on it. It's you're going back to Lewandowski, going slightly off key, but obviously MLS seems to be going back to these big superstar DPs again, which the league sort of moved away from in the mid 2010s, right? It was much more the South Americans sort of players who were really you're trying to get into. I mean, when you were saying the Red Bulls are very much against that, don't do that. They want to do the homegrown talent with your few like your Forsbergs or Choupo-Moting, who are European players, but not the ilk of
they're not superstars.
Lewandowski.
Yeah.
But me and Ronnie were saying, how long do you do that before you get left behind? Because all the other teams are doing it now. Like not many teams in MLS now who are not doing that approach now.
Kind of. I mean, you look at Nashville. I mean, there's no superstar in Nashville, and they're running away with. I mean, they have a 10-point lead over Miami, and Miami's the most star-studded team in the league. So I really do think it depends on the team. I know that Kansas City desperately wants that star player, and they're trying real hard to buy one. When it comes to Red Bull, though, I don't think you're going to get like, I don't know, whoever might be on the market. You're not going to get a pick your guy now. No, Marcus Rashford, let's say, right? Let's say things go bad in United with Rashford. They're not going to go out and spend a lot of money for a guy like him.
No.
But would they bring in, let's say things don't go well for Christopher Nkunku on loan at Leipzig? Would they buy him and ship him to, at the age of 27? Would they ship him, not a superstar, to New York? I could definitely see something like that.
Yeah. Okay, so the other question is along the same lines with Leipzig. Is me and Ronnie actually noticed that it's Forsberg's last season contracted this year. You've got option for next season. Would you expect him to be in next season?
So here's the interesting question about that. I don't know if his contract covers the sprint season. So to remind fans that don't know, MLS will be playing a sprint season, a really, really short, a half season, so that they align with the I'll say the big four leagues in Europe calendar going essentially late July to May. If he does stay, I would suspect he would stay for that, but he would not stay for the first full season starting in July.
It's actually quite funny because in the first half of the podcast, me and Ronnie actually spoke about the sprint season. And firstly, we said, is there a more Red Bull thing than to do a double in the sprint season? Like win a Sports Shield.
We're all joking about that.
We're not joking, but it genuinely could happen. I genuinely don't think there's a more...
That'll be the one they win. And look, and MLS is saying if you win the sprint season, you are the 2027 MLS Cup champions because the next one won't be crowned until 2028. So even though it's a sprint season...
I just know... I can just imagine... Say we do win the MLS Cup, it will forever have an asterisk next to it. It will forever have an asterisk next to it. No, but that's by the by. Also, we actually spoke about the fact... How do contracts work? Do the contracts go till the end of 2070?
So technically, the contracts go to December 31st because so there is a possibility that now again they can negotiate and say, hey, this sprint season and figure it out. But normally the contracts would go to December 31st. So when you reach October and a team makes the playoffs, teams will continue to train until the end of the year, and you were still under contract and you're still obligated to show up until, even if you didn't make the playoffs, up until December 31st, actually.
Yeah.
Which I'm sure will change now going into next year.
Yeah, that's the main thing. Like, say you have like obviously Forsberg is got option in 2027. Would that count toward the end of the sprint season, or would they consider that to be the new 27-28 season?
I think they would write an addendum if he does stay for the sprint. I think they would write an addendum for the sprint season, and then he would leave after that. Or he could just be done, and they decide that the sprint season is when they introduce a new, captain/attacking midfielder.
I think we're coming towards the end of a Forsberg era.
I agree. And it's been a mixed bag for the most part. They made MLS Cup, and to be honest, he was 2 inches away from a ball hitting the back of the net versus the post to tie, to equalize in MLS Cup in 2024. So, and then of course he was captain of the team when they didn't make the MLS Cup playoffs. So it has been a mixed bag, but overall, look, he has been a trooper. He's put himself out there. He's been a great media.
I think he's been a good leader. Like,
really absolutely.
Good pro for young players to look up to. And
I
know he has there's been some controversy off field about his like
that was at the beginning.
at the beginning was that. But I think from on that as a leader, as a captain, I don't think you could ask for more than him.
I agree,
especially like he's like okay, he wasn't a superstar European player, but he still played at in Bundesliga at a very high level for a long time.
Champions League player.
Look like when like Steven Gerrard and Pat Lampard come over. Like,
oh my God, Frank Lampard is probably one of the most. Someone asked me on Twitter recently. They were like, between NYC and New York Red Bulls, who are the most hated players? You know, Rafa Marquez is number one probably for Red Bull fans. Yeah. And Frank Lampard is absolutely number one for NYCFC fans.
Absolutely, he just like
he absolutely insulted the club on year one and decided to just go to Manchester City, which Lord knows what Chelsea fans think about that.
Yeah. But away from that topic, after the Philadelphia game, we actually have a league fixture for like a month. Yeah. Because League Cup. And I'm actually keen to get your opinion. So me and Ronnie was actually sort of saying we don't really see the point of the League Cup anymore. Because now hardly any MLS clubs qualify. What is the incentive? I'm obviously they're great. You can get a Champions League, get that. But like
the best comparison I can make is and this is a really bad one, but it's the closest I can think of. Think of Leagues Cup as the UEFA Champions League and the US Open Cup as the Europa League. So depending on your standings the year before, you're going to be grouped into the Leagues Cup or you're going to be grouped into the US Open Cup. And so Red Bull, based on what they did last year, not making the playoffs, were put into the US Open Cup, which is the competition between every domestic league in every professional domestic league here. And actually, no, it's actually every domestic league in the United States. And then NYCFC, who did make the playoffs, were grouped into the Leagues Cup for this year. So that's kind of an easy way to think about it, although the math for it is a little difficult to understand, which is why it's really kind of hit a wall.
Yeah, like I don't really see the point anymore.
I don't either, to be honest.
Like the first year, obviously, is really exciting. You're going to play against Mexican teams, but now the All-Star games always against Liga MX. For now, like you're playing against some players anyway in that match. So like, what are you? Maybe I feel differently if Red Bulls win it. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Well, it's always a great competition when you win it.
Well, if we won it, we'd have better things to slight spread. But like, I'm not too convinced. But also, like, we haven't got a league game in like. I mean, what we're talking about, we haven't got a league game until what? The 6th of September.
Yeah, so after this Saturday, there's not another game until the 5th, and that's going to be in Seattle.
That's a 1:30 kickoff for us here.
I don't know what it is. So it's 8:30 for us, which is an afternoon game.
It's time zone
in the West Coast.
Yeah,
and then they're in LA, which is going to be 10:30 for us. But and that's 4 days later. That's the other thing, right? So this past week they've played 3 games in 7 days. They're going to do that, so they're going to have next week off, and then do that again. They're going to play 3 games in 1 week.
So but LA game is 3:30 a.m. here for us. So that's the struggle I've been having. Obviously, since my newfound freedom which I do actually have a fun fact for the audience. I actually got a signed shirt now from Angel City.
Nice.
For a player who's now left.
Oh no!
It's for Casey Fair because she played in the game we went to watch, and she was like youngest player to ever play in the World Cup, and she was amazing for me on my FM save I did with Angel City. I won the championship, so I was like, "Oh, I'll go with her." And I kid you not, the day after I'm going to get it framed, it was actually let the club. I mean, I don't care. It's still cool for me to have, I think.
Yeah, she went to Feyenoord, right? Like, is that where she went?
Yeah, I think it's a really cool thing to have, so I'm not that bothered. And it was still she's still there when I went to watch the game, so I'm not that bothered. But it's gonna be a tight old end of the season, right? Like a lot of midweek games.
Very, very much so. Yeah, you're talking
not held the World Cup, right?
Yeah. No, yeah. So you're talking about in the month of September, 2, 3, 4. There are 5 games just in the month of September. And then another 5 in October and 2 in November. Those are all just regular season games.
Yeah, it's going to be...
It's a lot of games in a short window.
Yeah,
And a lot of travel. Like you're talking LA in there. You're talking Columbus. Late in the season, they're gonna have to travel to Nashville. So it's gonna be it's gonna be a really difficult stretch towards the end of the year.
Yeah. When hopefully we get a win at Philadelphia, that'll be a good point, good win to make it feel a bit more comfortable as we get into the final stages. But we've got a few minutes left before I have to go, really, to be honest. But we do one more thing. Obviously, fans of our old podcasts will remember one of our old series. It's called Up in the Rafters, which you can start seeing on your screen. Is when we highlighted New York Red Bulls legends. So we've got Dax McCarthy, Loris Robles, BWP, Henri, and Mike Petke in it so far. And we're going to try to change how we do this from now on. We're going to have our guest host, which let's be honest, most of the time will be Anthony himself, probably. Guest probably will be him. We're going to take it in turns. So I'll do one, one will do one, and then our guest host, probably mostly Anthony, will also induct one. So, have you got anyone you would like to induct, Anthony?
Oh, absolutely. I would say the young kid who I watched from the beginning back in 2015 at Red Bull 2, I would definitely put Tyler Adams in that window. What a career he's had. Underrated because he's a midfielder, and I feel like we always ignore midfielders in the game, but an absolute beast of a guy, and still doing it great for Bournemouth, even though his manager abandoned him.
Premier League, and he's still doing bits of a US men's national team as well.
Absolutely. I honestly think he's going to be the captain for a while.
I literally about to say that. Probably a future captain of the men's national team. He already captained them a few times. Like, he definitely on my list of future captains. So we will now put Tyler Adams into the rafters. So we're on our second episode. This is actually the second time we recorded this episode. So well done on making that very well done for making that really convincing. I was meant to we recorded it and then we couldn't upload it for some reason. Like it wouldn't let us on Spotify. It was really odd. So it's not, I did say maybe we'll release it like one afternoon, like as a bonus episode, like 2020, maybe when it's 2039, and the Red Bulls Jets won 5 MLS Cup on the spin. It's like
I would love that.
He says run the episode we recorded in 2026, talking about whether the Red Bulls will make a playoffs or anything like that. Maybe we'll do that one day.
Yeah,
but if one thing before we say farewell, it's getting up to 25 minutes, is what's the score prediction for Saturday?
So I'm going to stay positive here, but I think there's going to be a lot of goals. I think this is going to be a 3-2 Red Bull win. I think there's going to be a lot of goals in this one.
I'll go with that. Right. It's been a pleasure talking to you, Anthony. Until next time, bid you farewell.